And hello and welcome to Good News Covington County on WKNI TV. And man, I'll tell you what, folks, it's Tuesday afternoon, and who do we have? We have the Andalusia Area Humane Society with us, Jim and Deborah. Welcome to WKNI once again.
Thank you.
We have Vincent, the miniature Chihuahua, here today. And
maybe miniature husky.
well, he's got husky.
He looks like a husky.
Yeah.
His eyes, yeah.
Husky
his eyes.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be a mix.
I'm sure there's one out there, a Chusky.
A Chusky. Yeah, there you go. That would probably only happen in AI, though, okay? Because I don't think that could really happen in a physical sense.
Not.
Yeah, oh no. Terrible view there. Anyway.
He's a beautiful boy.
He is, and he's loving.
Yes.
He has been sitting here loving
Yes.
on everybody, and he's calming down. Jim's
Yes,
got that
he is.
soothing, calming handler sense. You know what? We're going to call him the Andalusia Area Humane Society Dog Whisperer.
Oh, good.
He is our dog whisperer, folks.
He needs a title.
He's our official dog whisperer. But my goodness, how's it been going?
Just great, just great. We, the wonderful thing is while we were over at the shelter picking up Vin, a couple came in and adopted Snickers. They were adopting Snickers just as
The little puppy.
The little one that I thought I was. Oh,
I can't believe he lasted that long.
I know.
But yeah, they were just the sweetest couple. They had they had lost their dog recently and just opened their hearts to another one just almost immediately, which I think is a good thing.
yeah. It
And,
helps with the healing.
I think
Really
I
does.
think that our dogs would want us to do that, honestly, and they were really tickled, and it's just a wonderful end to that story.
Well, I'll tell you, that's where we're different from dogs, okay? I told Teresa, all right, if I die before she does, she's a long-time widow.
Oh,
I did.
Oh.
said that.
Well, the good news is you don't have any control over that.
Seems to be a common sentiment.
But, no, that was mean, I guess, but no. I'm not going to say it. See, I'll get in deep trouble. See,
You're already there.
Yeah, I know. I'm there. I've done past the point of return. I want to talk about a couple of things that we're going to talk about. Vincent here, Vin, and first off, I want to say he might be a missing pet.
Yes, he's been at the shelter now. We think he's about 3 years old. He has been at the shelter for 7 days. So he is adoptable. He's been there long enough to actually be adoptable, unclaimed. But we also know that he was picked up at wandering as a stray around LBW. And so if anybody knows this dog, of course we're calling him Vin, but if anybody knows this dog and knows where he's missing from, he's at the Andalusia Animal Shelter.
And somebody may grab him before you come grab him back.
222-8705.
He's a beautiful, beautiful animal.
Yes.
And,
Very pretty boy.
Very.
boy.
The dog whisperer is doing his magic.
Yeah.
He has the blue eyes like a husky. He looks. So we feel like there's some husky mix in there somewhere. He's got those beautiful eyes.
I know he could pull a sled by himself.
Yeah, he's pulling you around
is
here
so
earlier.
strong.
Yeah. But man, I'll tell you, beautiful, beautiful dog.
He's a great boy.
All right, let's talk a little about some of the ways this works. Y'all are working with the shelter and being very successful with working with the shelter and getting animals adopted with us through here and in other places. So this is, I love hearing
And the
this.
shelter does a wonderful job of that because they have, during the week, they just have people in and out constantly looking for animals, and Kristen and Missy just do a great job of matching up animals to the right place.
I don't know. No, I'm just teasing. She'll beat me up.
But yeah, it's really been great. We started as Friends of the Shelter in early 2013. We went to the mayor and the council, and they granted us Friends of the Shelter status, and so we've been able to work hand in hand with the Andalusia Animal Shelter for over a year now, and just trying to fit in where we can and help out and fill out places where we're needed, and it's very rewarding.
Can you hear him panting, Teresa? Yeah, he's just a happy little fella. Jim, you got a knack with animals.
I think everybody that loves dogs, has that, it calms me
Well,
to calm them.
He's definitely a loving dog. He hasn't been mean or spiteful or anything. He's just been very loving and laying down and then getting up and laying down. He is curious. I'm almost going to say he's a little younger than 3, in my opinion, because he's got the puppyish in him.
He does seem to have some puppy
Yeah, he's
about
got some
himself.
puppy
Maybe
about
2
him.
years old.
Yeah, I would
It's hard
say
to
because
say.
he's trying to, everything that's in front of him he wants to look at. And I'm not doing that just to contradict you.
You're not
Oh,
waving
my.
your hands to get his get
Oh,
excited.
I'm sorry. I do that. That's Eddie. But, yeah, he just wanted some of that. But let's talk a little about some of the success with the shelter and the Humane Society here in Andalusia. Y'all have joined hands together as friends of the shelter. You've also making awareness of the animals and their needs as well. You've got people informed on the spay and neuter programs. We got a great guy, Lewis Jones. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say his name? I did. I said Lewis. Lousy golfer. Does he watch this?
Yes.
I'll whoop him anytime on the golf course when he ain't there.
Whenever he's not there.
Whenever he's not there. Well, you know what? He's a lot of fun.
Well, Lewis is our president of the
Oh, is he?
the president of the Humane Society.
Oh, Presidente?
Yeah, and he is.
Don't let it go to your head, Lewis.
And the founder of the
Yeah,
Humane
he is. I
Society.
know. I
He
knew he
really
was
was the only reason it's in existence, because he carried the ball for
for
25
years.
years,
Yeah.
I guess.
For years. I remember when we first came here, he was involved in it. And Lewis he's a great animal lover.
Yes,
He's a great physician when it comes to animals. I don't even call him I call him a physician, because a physician takes, has plans and does
They can
things.
stay here with me.
And he's a
Mr.
family
Station?
type kind of guy with the families and the pets. And he was a little man's doctor when we first got him. And but anyway, enough about Lewis. He's got enough stardom for the day. We're going to have a picture over here set up with Lewis's picture smiling with a golf club.
It's okay.
Did you know he played golf?
But we've heard him talk about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Every chance he gets.
Does he say that? Does he say that he wins a lot?
No, he doesn't necessarily.
brag?
He doesn't necessarily brag about his golf game. He just.
Have you ever
But
played
I think
golf?
he does.
I used to, a long time ago.
Well, I was over at LBW last week and I shot a 60. Okay.
On 9 holes.
No, on the second hole.
On the second hole.
Anyway. But Lewis, we call him Divot Man.
Good.
I'm so dead.
Somebody's got to aerate the golf course, right?
Yeah, the golf course considers saving about $20,000 a year when Lewis goes out there because they don't have to aerate the greens. But I'm in so trouble. You know
Divot
this.
man on the greens.
Let's hope not.
That really is bad. I know enough about golf to know that's not good.
Well, that's Lewis. There's more than one hole in a hole-in-one for him. But
So he has to have a lot of courses that he can play. Cause
no, he just plays one. He changes it every time he gets out there. He's the only guy I've seen at a golf course. I'm so trouble. I'm so deep now. Might as well keep going.
Yeah.
He'll move the tee box liners forward. Okay, he'll sit there and say,
I could see that. Yeah.
"I'm shooting blue," and then they're all the way up there, and all the other blues are back here.
I could see that.
Did I say that about Lewis? I'm in trouble. He's gonna euthanize me.
It's hard
put you
to
down.
get in trouble with Lewis.
Do what?
It's hard to get in trouble with Louis.
Oh, it is. I hope he's laughing now. Please be laughing. But anyway, let's go on. He's available for adoption now, or
He
are we
is
still
available
looking?
for adoption because he's been at the shelter for 7 days, and once they've been there for that long, they could actually be adopted. But we also just want to mention that he did come in as a stray, and if anybody's looking for
I'd love to hear
knows
that
this
his owner
dog.
saw this and
I
came
would
and got him.
too.
Yeah,
I
that'd
would
be
too.
great.
That would be wonderful.
That
You
if
know
if somebody's missing him,
he's a loving dog.
that they want him back.
He is a loving dog, and he is not a stray dog. He hasn't been stray. I mean, you
But-
can't see it in him.
But we also know that people will, dogs just get lost, or people go off and leave them sometimes.
Well,
But that's where he is. He's at the Andalusia Animal Shelter, and their number is 222-8705.
and they do a fine job over there. I got to get over there and say hi to them.
Yeah.
They get not scared, but when I come over there, they're like, no cameras. It's not because of anything they're doing over there. It's just they don't want to be on TV. And they're very pretty women over there, and they're very nice. And Missy is just my buddy. Anyway, I've known her forever. She has been a wonderful person. She served this community well on many different levels.
Yes.
And we sure appreciate knowing her and being able to call her friend.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about a new law.
Yes.
Well, you're
goodness.
having trouble with that microphone today.
Yeah.
Do you want me to staple it?
Please don't.
Get the super glue out, Mama. We're going to tack it to his forehead.
I don't have a lot of details on it. I just recently read it this morning, just briefly. But in the new Farm Bill, we now have a law that states that spectators at dog fights, cockfights, any fight that actually pits one animal against another and puts them in a dangerous situation is illegal now.
Wonderful.
All over the country.
Wonderful.
All over the country.
It's a federal
it is
law.
The law. It is. It's all over the country. It is the law, and
I hope it's retroactive so they can get these people that were involved with these cockfights that just a couple of weeks ago here in the in our area, and also the pit bull fights and dogs. I hope they get them all. I hope they get them all.
Well, it's just such a horrendous thing, and evidently what happens a lot was the people that were responsible for putting the event on, when there would be a raid, they would just quickly try to melt into the crowd and claim to be a spectator, because it wasn't against the law to be a spectator, and so they could get off that way. And so this kind of closes that door, and it's needed to happen for a long time, and I think it's just going to make a huge difference. It should.
Yeah, I hope so,
It should.
because these guys don't deserve that. And
No, and what we're seeing about so many animals that are being picked up, and how, you think about it's not just the dogs that are fighting that are being used. Too many animals are being used as bait dogs and that kind of thing. Animals that disappear from their yards, from their homes. Animals that are given away free to a good home. It just encompasses so many different animals that this should really put a dent in that.
well, I'm glad that happened. And
Me too.
I also know that we've got that bill up in Montgomery right now for the veterinarian and the rescue type things. And I hope something comes of that, because we need to have regulation imposed on rescues. I mean, just last week, right after you were on the show, I get the wire here, and I'm not going to say where it was at or who it was, but there was a rescue, okay, that authorities went to because they heard of animal cruelty. They found over a dozen dogs emancipated
Yeah.
inside the cages, several decaying animals that have already died, and feces and no food and stuff. It was awful.
This was at a rescue?
At a rescue. At a rescue. At a rescue. Okay? And you know what I mean by that. Okay? And we got to be so careful, because some of these rescues, if they're not for profit and certified by, you know, the federal government, and I'm not saying they're all bad. This is Eddie speaking, not you.
Oh, no, it's
There's a good purpose for them, but if they're accountable, okay, then there's less chance of that happening.
Eddie, the rescue community is the first to step up when a bad situation is exposed. The rescue community is the first to step up and take the animals that are in trouble when they can. So, I mean, they all work, they work together and network trying to, I mean, it really is ultimately about the animals, and regardless of what conditions they're found in, if there's a way to save them, they come together to try to save them, and
They're just bad apples out there, you know.
but it's
Some of
that,
them are
I mean,
gonna be
that
bad.
in anything we do, there's always something.
Well, let me
like
ask you a question. I know this is a hot potato, but shouldn't rescues have some kind of accountability?
Well, I think backyard breeders should too.
Oh, yes.
You know, we definitely need more oversight in many areas, and new laws are not always the best solution, because there may already be laws on the books that just with a little bit of tweaking could solve some problems. Or enforcement.
There's plenty of laws on the books, so they just enforce them.
Laws.
It's tough on local municipalities to get involved in those kind of things. It's a touchy issue. It really is.
Well-intentioned laws can turn back. Well-intentioned laws can have undesired effects, and the truth is if the community, the rescue community, comes together and works on their own laws, you know, and promotes, that would be a good place for that to start. I think if the good rescues that are out there would, you know, can come together and work on regulations that would help that segment of the animal rescue population, you know, who better to write the regulations than the people that are actually doing the work?
Well,
and,
you know, the thing is around here we got some great people in rescue, okay? And I'm not
all over the country.
Right. But I saw this, and what people do is they see those pictures and they get this terrible, you know, feeling, and they say things, and they post on, you know, social media pages, and they show all these pictures and stuff of dogs and cats that are just malnourished and mistreated, and people get the idea, well, that's all rescues, and it's not. You know, I know of several here in this community that take better care of their animals than they do of them personal selves. I mean, they'll make sure the animals are fed before they eat. I went to one house, I'm going to tell you this real quick. I went to one house, and she says, they eat before I do. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean? And she goes, I will not eat my food until they are all fed.
You been out to our house? Sounds like Deborah.
And I was just talking about my house.
I got you.
You heard Teresa pipe in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, and
Hello.
they are dependent upon us, and
Yep.
Want you to choose.
if whether it's
We're
in the
not
shelter
choosing.
or rescue or in our pets at home, whatever, foster homes, they are very dependent
There's so many
upon
ways
us. And-
people want to help. Majority of people want to help in a positive way. And there's some people out there that will use these animals for bait dogs, for pit bull fighting. There are others out there that'll put spikes on roosters and have cockfights. And there's other people that are just plain torture animals, just for the fun of it.
Well, we have legal torture of animals in this country with lab experiments, and that needs to. That's a whole nother place that needs.
See?
That's got to stop.
You and I
The
could go.
fact that there are still people willing to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and laws that sanction it are, to me, just it's barbaric. It's barbaric.
That
to
is
see.
a whole show right there in
yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can talk about that.
We have to change the way we treat each other and the animals in our
They're all
lives.
God's creations.
Yes.
God created every single animal in this world, and they're there for our pleasure. Remember, He made us rulers over them, okay? Not torturers, not enemies of them. Some are placed here for food, and some are placed here for pleasure.
I like to use the word caretakers.
There you go.
So for some reason, the word dominion and ruler has a way of taking on a different meaning to some people, and I think.
But it's biblical.
But if it's translated into caretakers,
Right.
then it changes everything.
Well, we have to be good stewards of what's been given to us.
Yes.
And when you see guys like this, I know somebody's going to call. I'll bet you'll find out somebody's going to call tonight or tomorrow.
I hope so.
Okay, and say, that's my dog.
I hope so. I hope so,
He
because
is- look at
there's
him.
nothing better than reuniting one with someone that is missing it.
Oh, yeah. We had that
And,
happen here a few weeks ago. Yeah.
That's a wonderful
Jim
feeling.
the dog whisperer at work.
I just love the way they calm down when they're here. They're just
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, they know the love's here.
But, yeah.
You know, we care about 'em.
They've got some great dogs over at the shelter right now for adoption.
Plenty of 'em.
Snickers, thank goodness, has already gone
Yeah.
home to her new home.
Bye, Snickers.
I wasn't believing she was still there when we went in today, and
Wow.
while I was just so pleased that while we were there, that couple came
That was
by.
good timing.
It was really great time. It made my day.
How can people help out the Humane Society?
Well, we always need members. We really are. We're going to be reaching out to the community more. We want to have more and more functions and activities at our building that involve the community. And as we get our back done, we're in the process of getting the fencing done now. We're going to have a wonderful back area behind our building that can be used for all kinds of things. And so it's really just going to be about the animal community coming together and trying to make this a place where all of our animals are cared for. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live in a community that cared for all of their animals?
Oh, wow.
We would know we've arrived if we can do that. And
Well, they give the love automatically.
Yes,
I mean,
they
that's
do.
it.
They do.
It's an automatic love.
they do.
They love us no matter what.
They do.
Whether we're mistreating them or whether we're loving on them, they're loving. And even if they can't play golf like Lewis can. But did Lewis ever tell you about his golf playing dog?
Don't think I heard that.
No,
Ask him to tell you the story.
I will. I
Okay.
will. If anybody could do it, he could.
Yeah. It was a teacup Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. Okay? And he'd take that teacup Chihuahua and he had it trained and he had scent on his golf balls. Okay? And when he'd hit his golf balls, they'd go like that and the holes over here. Now I didn't say his tail. And he let that teacup Chihuahua go before he started playing. And that Chihuahua would grab that ball, find it, smell it, and drop it in the hole. And then hide back in the bushes till Lewis went up and hit another ball.
I hope there's a picture of that somewhere.
There is it.
Have to stage that picture.
Well, we can do that. Lewis, I challenge you without your Chihuahua on the golf course. Folks, we appreciate y'all coming in again.
Thank you for having us. We
Thank you
really
so much.
enjoyed it. It makes our day. It
It
really,
helps
really
these dogs.
does.
Well, what's the number
It's good
again?
for us.
222?
222-8705 is the Andalusia Animal Shelter.
She remembered it this time,
I
Teresa.
did.
Vincent, you're going home today.
I hope so.
You going
I hope
home,
so.
son.
One
I
way
feel
or
it.
another.
I feel it.
This is a good dog.
Jim,
That's a good
our
dog.
dog whisperer, we appreciate you coming on. God bless you, sir, for
Thanks
all
so
you
much
do.
for having us.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you for all that you do, ma'am.
Thank you, Eddie.
And you got and Vincent,
And
it's
Teresa.
just that. See, there you go. There. And somebody either claim him or adopt him. He's a
Ready to go.
mess. He's a good guy. But anyway, thank y'all. God bless you. Ladies
Our
at the shelter, thank you. You do a wonderful job. Remember, keep it real. Keep God in it. God loves you. God loves our animals. We'll see you next time.